Well, hello and good day to you all. My name is Dimitri Frederick, and you are watching Voices for the Voiceless, a Frederick Media production and a subsidiary of Frederick Capital. Today's show is entitled Why You Must Be Diversified in the 21st Century. Now, this show could also go for MLMUniversity.biz, which is a new show I'm actually producing for the summer, but as well as this show, is dedicated to the concept, and you could say, the theme for the 21st century should be really diversification. How important is it to be diversified? Now, over the years, I've talked about diversification so much. I've even written the book, Why Entrepreneurship? What is it all about? And I even talk about diversifying. I've even written another book for network marketers focused on how to do MLM in Massachusetts. And I talk about diversification to the concept of, how many income streams do you have? How recession proof is your business? So all these things talk about diversification. So I wanted to take the time today and focus directly on the topic of diversification, because some of us think we're diversified and we really are not. Today's economy is so fragmented in the sense that it's any which way it could turn for the worse, that you need to be diversified in many ways so that you could help yourself. And diversification really means having multiple income streams designed for yourself and your family so that you could weather the storms, whatever the storm is going to be in the near future. And I've done serious topics, and I will be doing more topics throughout this year of 2016 about how important it is to prepare for what's coming about. And it's not just me that's saying these things. There's a lot of well-educated people with several degrees behind their name, been in so many government official positions as well, that have talked about this economy is not strong. You could hear all the good things you want to hear, all the fluff, all the people that's put on stage in front of a camera just to tell you that the economy is good. But you're going to always get the truth from me, as well as they may tell you the same thing that, they're telling the truth. But again, there's a hidden agenda. There's someone behind the scene that's telling you, hey, we need to get behind this story so that people could believe that the economy is strong, their money is safe. And I'm telling you folks, it is not safe. And this is why it's so important to diversify yourself, diversify your work. I talk about that in Why Entrepreneurship, what is it all about, towards the third series. How your family even itself, if you're working in the same job, both husband and wife, for example, couples, you are at risk, because there's a lot of things that could go wrong. And companies today could say, hey, well, one of you could survive off one income stream. Well, today, folks, not everybody can. And let's talk about it seriously. Today, majority of us are single family households that's living on one paycheck, where you need more than one paycheck to survive today. And that's why diversification is so important. Now, let's talk about business ownership, because this is a financial educational show. So many of us don't understand, because most of us maybe who's watching are just traditional people that's working a 9 to 5, and that's all great and dandy. But I need to protect your assets and help you think about the future, because that's what's at stake. Your future, your financial soundness to take care of yourself, protect your family in the long term. If you have kids in school, all these things they need to be learning right now about diversification to understand what diversification really means for them today. Because what you may hear from your 401k, all the time, hey, your 401k is diversified. Well, folks, it's not really diversified, because the same fund managers, the same, much mutual funds that you are hearing about that's popular, they all have the same stocks in there. And I talk about that in my book as well. And so you need to fully invest in the sense that you need to take the time out to know what you're being put in there, and also invest for yourself, learn for yourself how to invest, how to put your money in the right things, how to diversify it in different sectors, which is what I talk about. That's important, not just the stocks. Is it oil? Is it raw materials, goods, services, and so on. It's not just having a stock or Microsoft or maybe Facebook, because it's a new thing today. That's the new stocks that everybody likes and want to be part of, because that's the growth potential. But you need to understand what growth potential means and what it doesn't mean, because there's a point that any company reaches a tipping point. That's another story that I could get more involved in that. But that's not the focus on today's show, to talk about stocks and investments. But we're talking about focusing on diversification. So, but in regards to your 401k though, again, it's really not diversified. So you need to take a better look, and you also need to take the time to actually go online. Today, just about every company has their 401k package or whatever you invested in an online website. So you should take investment time, or at least print it out. Go get the yearly or monthly or even quarterly reports of your benefits and see how it's doing, because you need to be prepared to pull it out, or if not, move it. And I'm going to do a special show in the future to talk about how you should be moving your money around to protect it and secure it at the same time. So why is the market doing so bad? A lot of us, the year 2016 is not starting off right. For the last 2 months now, I've watched the market go down. I benefit from it, from the downside of it. Now, if you don't even understand what I just said by saying benefiting from the downside, again, you're not diversified. So there's 3 ways, I know this is a side topic, but 3 ways the market goes up, down, sideways. And you can make money each way. So majority of the time right now, because we are in a downtrending economy, the market's going to go down, So like I always tell people that right now, if you have a 401k, keep putting money into it, guess what? You basically put into your money into an open hole pocket in your pants, which is what you might as well have, because you just throw away your money because it's not diversified. First of all, it's also not protected against the down markets, the down swings. It takes 3 times or more likely for a stock to go back up once it's dropped so much, versus I can make much more money faster on that downside position. There's a lot of classes you could take to learn about these things, and you can look forward to future shows where I talk about these issues as well. But why is the market bad right now? And one of the things I really believe, and talking for the last 4 or 5 years on this show about being an entrepreneur, being financially literate, is that millions of people, and really more or less I'm talking about the baby boomers, they are pulling their money out of the economy. We need to understand the time of where we are, because the last 4 years, I've been talking about 2015. Well, 2015 has been here and it's gone. We're in 2016. And so the majority of baby boomers, and this is the significance of 2015, have retired. So 2016 now is when everybody is settling down, and then now are going to start pulling slowly their money out of the economy. One thing I talk about in entrepreneurship for you to understand is that the majority of people who are baby boomers, they built this country to where it is today. So I have a lot of honor and greatness for what they've done. But guess what? Now they're at the age they want to settle down, secure what they have created, and either pass it on to the next generation. There's a transfer of wealth also that's going on right now. But again, how does that affect you as a diversified person if you're not diversified? It tremendously impacts you, because today what you're seeing is the end results of all these years of what they've built. Now they're taking it back. So a lot of people are pulling their money, going on vacation, retiring, going to Florida, selling out, or buying a land condensed house, which is another impact to the real estate market. I'll be addressing that issue as well too. So these are all important facts of things that's happening right now that's impacting us. That's the reason why you should be diversified yourself and getting educated, understand what other ways can you go about diversifying your income, protecting your assets as well. So you have trillions upon billions of dollars across the country that's being pulled out because of baby boomers retiring, and it really will impact you. It's impacting the stock market, and I guarantee you, you're going to watch this whole year of 2016 is going to be a down market year as more and more people are pulling their money out. So your 401k is basically in drain one way or another, and you need to understand how that's important to you. It's not just about listening to the people, the Cramers. I love Jim Cramer, telling you, just bear the weather, just, it's going to go back up. Anybody can say that, because guess what? Everything's in a cycle. So yes, at some point it'll go back up. But again, like I said earlier, how long will it take? I was just watching a report, and talking about the 1929 crash, and how long, almost 20 to 30 years it took plus for the economy to come back, 9 times, to come out just even, so if you have to retire this year, the next 5-10 years, can you weather 20, 30 years? Of course not. So you need to understand how important diversification is and how it is vital to your future. So, one of the things too, why I felt it was necessary to do this show right now is because the last few months, I've watched some very important shows. For one, ABC just recently did a episode this week actually on Bernie Madoff. If you recall, and you wasn't living under a rock, Bernie Madoff has caused, or one of the many people, besides the government, I should say, because that's one of the things they stressed out in that movie, the downfall of this country's financial institutions because of things that they neglected to do and watch people committing fraud, not creating a check and balance system that was legitimate. And so Bernie Madoff's show was, again, a powerful show. I bring that up because there's about 2 to 3 things that I watched recently that just tells me how interesting that these things are coming up back now. Now, we're talking about almost 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when we were in a financial high and slowly becoming in a financial crisis. And so that's the real estate bubble, the dot-com era, which was short-lived after it crashed. We went straight to the real estate bubble to move money around, diversification. So here it is again, 8 years later. There's a new movie that's on the topic because there's been many other movies, many shows, many series, many documentaries that's been put about the economy. And so here it is, Bernie Madoff is on the air again talking about the issues that happened. Now here's another movie that's on right now in your theater you could still catch, and it's called The Big Short. It was a very powerful movie. It was actually a reminder again of the things that happened. Not even that, at the end of the movie, it even told you that the whole real estate bubble with the things that caused CDOs bundling up real estate properties together, it's happening again. And I even see it on my own eyes here in Boston of, houses, 3-family houses, people are putting them together, can't sell them, so they're trying to put them as condos for sale. It was the same nonsense that we did back then, and we are doing it again. And I can't remember the name of it. They have a different name, of course, for you to believe that it's something new and dandy. But it's the same old tricks that we as the people are being neglected to remember the past or try to forget the past and understanding how it's happening all over again. So The Big Short was a powerful movie. I encourage you to watch it because it's, again, a reminder. And it's kind of unique that it's back in the mainstream again as a topic of discussion. But many of you probably are neglecting to pay attention to these things because I think these are signs that's being told to us to be careful. Now, if there's any indication that someone's trying to tell you there's something's on the rise, something's getting ready to happen, it's this one thing. Now, we just went to the Iowa Caucus this past week on Tuesday. And, it's Hillary Clinton, Bernie Madoff, Bernie Sanders, the Republican side, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and all these other parties competing for your votes for 2016 election for the new president. Well, folks, amongst that whole, drama, people telling you, promising you all these things, guess what? There was a powerful commercial that was put in for just 30 seconds that Bill Barner, who I watched the video, very powerful video. I encourage you to watch that video, and I'll put it on the bottom of the screen so you can watch it yourself. It's called crashingbanks.com, and it was a great documentary of the history, and he's proven over and over 3 different occasions in the last decades or so of things that's happened. And he, just like I've predicted a lot of things myself, and this is one of the reasons why I do these shows to help you, prepare you. Not to be retroactive or not retroactive, but reactive, that is, to things that happen, because the media is just a reactive medium that you watch. This show is always a proactive show to tell you, to prepare, to direct you in ways to help protect yourself and your family. And so, Bill Barner did a great documentary, and it's very empowering, but it was eye-opening even for myself, who looks at a lot of information, reports, news, documents that most of us will not willing to take a look at. And in it, he talks about the pending crisis. For me, there's a lot of other crises that I focus on and I pay attention to, but he was right on point on this, and it was basically the credit. And it's always something like I did a show in the past, for example, and I talk about the 3 legs of the economy. like a chair. There's so much. Our economy is so strong in the sense that we're the most indebted country of all, that no other country can take on the losses if we had them. We could take another country or some other country, like we've seen Greece, for example, in recent years, that has been bailed out. But no one could bail us out because we are the most and the biggest indebted country. And actually, I think he was talking about $41 billion or $1 trillion in debt or so. I think 5 trillion of 250. I don't know the exact numbers. $250 billion in credit of actual cash that we have on hand, but we owe a lot more in credit in particular. Watch the show. It was a powerful documentary that I encourage you to understand, because diversification is the key, And I talk about in my book, how to do MLM in Massachusetts, how important it is for you to be a diversified network marketer as well. One of the ways to look at it is if your business is in many countries. Today, if your company is only in one country, you should be scared. You shouldn't even actually waste your time, because it's almost too late, because it takes a lot of years and a lot of time for any one network marketing company to come into status, but also to go have expansion. If they wasn't thinking about it, or if they are already not in the process of already expanding to other countries, your business is in trouble, because it will not last long, especially if you're in New England as well. So this brings me to the conclusion of today's show. And the conclusion is really to help you by giving you an example that I talk about in Why Entrepreneurship. Because sometimes we don't understand the ramification and how important it is to be a diversified person or diversified portfolio, And it's, again, having multiple streams of income coming from you, different businesses, different avenues. Sometimes it's complementary business, I should say, not totally where it's off track from your business. It's one thing if you have the means to do so, but again, it's not you that's doing the work. It's you leveraging yourself, have business partners in place, have different business managers in place, directors to actually manage your businesses while you are thinking and creating new concepts, new ideas. So this story I'm going to give you is to help you understand the power of why it is important to diversify. So I want you to imagine with me right now that you have a job, okay? Like everybody else have a job. But I have a business, okay? Whatever my business is, whether it's online like this or other physical brick and mortar business. And tomorrow the economy fails, okay? Now you've been at your job 20 years. I've been at my business for 20 years as well. It's a very successful, thriving business. It's making millions of dollars. Again, I'm not there yet, but hey, let's pretend, okay? Because it could be any one of your businesses, small or big, growing as well. Now, in that business that you have, okay, you create some kind of widget. It doesn't matter what the widget is. But in your job, you've been doing the same thing over and over for the same years. The company, whether or not it's successful, thriving, it's a job you have. It's a job security, the benefits. That's why we chase a job for today, is for the benefits. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's, a crisis at hand, and the crisis is being not prepared for the coming years of when things get bad. Because all of a sudden, let's say tomorrow, that this economy collapses, this country crashes. And what does crashing mean? What does collapse mean? Well, it means that the dollar that we so-called the U.S. currency is not valuable. It's not valued. It's not believed on. It's not guaranteed on gold or what have you. No one wants your dollar bill. Or we have inflation tremendously because we're in a crisis right now. Other countries want us to pay them back because we don't believe in the U.S. economy. We don't believe in the so-called U.S. currency no more. So what do? You lose your job the next day because there's no job to go to. It's over. But here I am, the business owner. I have a 20-year-old business. You've been at your job for 20 years. Now, I know that the economy has collapsed. I'm in the U.S. just like you are working American. But I have a foreigner, let's say it's from Europe, Italy, China, what have you. It doesn't matter. But it's a foreign business owner that's calling me saying, Dimitri, I've been watching your business. I know the economy has collapsed, okay? Are you interested in selling your business? Of course, no, I'm destitute, the economy is bad, my US currency can't buy me jack. So what am I going to do? Of course, most likely, I will say yes, I'm interested in selling my business. First of all, I get to keep my employees happy. They have a job for now, and it gives me some stability that I could do something else once I sell that business. Now here's your dilemma, because you as an employee right now, see, you have 20 years of experience doing one job. You lost your job because the economy collapsed. Now you're trying to call like everybody else to get unemployment. You may have never done a dealt with unemployment, and I tell you, it is crazy right now. And you may see the news that the economy is doing better. And people are getting more jobs. It's not true, because there's games that's being run on you that you don't even believe in. You don't even understand that the economy is doing better in the sense that, you know, you phase out of the system. You can't get no more work. You are using your 401k, and that's one of the things today. You know, you may think the economy is doing good, but the last 5, 10 plus years, for those who have been struggling, people have been pulling their money out, and you will be doing the same thing too. That's your story, side of the story of as an employee of 20 years. Now here I am again. I just got an offer in China, whatever other country, foreigner than the U.S. economy. I've taken that check, but guess what? When I took that check, they asked me a very important question. Dimitri, how would you like to get paid? I know the economy is rough in the United States. The currency is a piece of crap. Of course, what I'm going to say, give it to me in the yen, the won, or the euro, whatever the country it is that I'm doing business with, or that currency is doing strong. It may even be Bitcoin or some kind of digital currency. Well, guess what? I am going to take that check, but it's not going to be a U.S. check. And that's where the dilemma is about being diversified. So here I am. I just saved myself and my family and maybe some of my employees for now. And I say goodbye, because now I've taken my money. I may have left the country. I may have started another business. What have you. It doesn't matter. The point is, the difference between me and that employee is that I'm diversified, that I own a business that I could sell and take my income someplace else. Now, you as an employee, you all have nothing in your hands, because that money that you died for, you sacrificed so much for, is worthless to you. It may be in the bank. You may have saved a few $1,000s, but it doesn't mean nothing, because the U.S. economy has collapsed and there's zero value to that dollar bill that you have in the bank. That's the difference between being diversified and not. Thank you for watching. I'm Dimitri Frederick, signing off. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this show via Facebook, via YouTube, or other mediums that you may be seeing this video. You have been watching Voices for the Voiceless. As always, I hope you have been empowered, been enlightened, and definitely have been educated. Take care, and God bless.